Let's have an honest conversation about childhood obesity. If you have a child who's overweight, I really want to encourage you to watch this video and engage with me in conversation about this topic. I've always been overweight my whole life, but it accelerated in my young adulthood. But I will say that there were very key defining moments in my childhood that actually kind of propelled me forward into this shame cycle with food. Something that I have done into my adulthood was hide how much food I was actually having and consuming, which is very easy to do. Very specific instances that have stuck with me well into my 30s now. The first was an incident with my mom. We were going through a McDonald's drive-through and I asked for the meal that had 2 burgers, and she was like, "You do not need to eat that much food. That much food is not okay." I was like 11 years old. I get where she's coming from. That is a lot of food for an 11-year-old, but I remember feeling so ashamed of myself for even asking for it and for wanting it. And it did start a cycle of me starting to steal and hide food when no one was looking. Please no hate to my mother. She's an incredible woman. The other instance was with my grandmother, and I was sitting next to her in a yard sale. And this one is really hard for me. It's still hard for me into my 30s, but she just looked at me and was like, "How do you even walk with legs that big?" And I don't know that I've ever been so hurt in my entire life. It was so painful because it was somebody that I loved so much and looked up to so much, and they were shaming my body. To this day, I have such great fear about my legs and showing them off because of what she said to me. So if you have children in your life, I just would encourage you to speak to them with sensitivity. Now, I don't blame my mom at all. She had her own struggles with weight, and she was doing the very best that she could at the time. And honestly, it's the only thing that she's ever done to make me feel shame, so I feel really grateful for that. I will say that if you have children in your life, to just be careful about how you speak to them about diet and exercise, and find supportive ways to address it, and be careful because those quick comments are not so easily brushed off and they could have a lasting impact.